Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a look at the newest Figuarts by Tamashii Nations, at least for me. This is Super Saiyan Vegeta, Awakened Super Saiyan Blood, also known as the Super Vegeta we got a few years back, which Tamashii have reissued, because apparently they can't be bothered to make a 3.0 yet. So yeah, good thing about this guy is he's quite cheap. Bizarrely a bit cheaper than the demoniacal fit now, although I will hazard a guess that will even itself out once this guy becomes more scarce and demoniacal fit can reissue at their leisure. So yeah, let's take a look at the box first, shall we? So yeah, standard Figuarts packaging at this point. Nice picture on the side of Vegeta doing his Big Bang attack against Android 19, even though this figure isn't accurate to the fight against Android 19. But we'll get into that later. Tamashii seal of quality. The toy sticker of quality as well. Designed by Tamashii Nations, Bandai Spirits, made in China. So yeah, you can already be guaranteed that this guy will be a lot tighter than Trunks was. But yeah, you've got Awakened Super Saiyan Blood on the side. On the back, some pictures, including a very deceptive one. This one right here. The 2.0 Vegeta has never been able to get that high of a kick, so I'm not sure how they managed that. But yeah, all of these pictures are supposedly from the Android 19 fight, even though this definitely isn't from that part of the show. This is Super Vegeta, like clearly. But yeah, distribution sticker over the top, Bandai Namco. Let's get rid of that, because I've already looked at the box for far too long. So yeah, taking a look at Vegeta's accessories, he's pretty bare bones. He actually comes with less than what the original came with. He's got one less face, which isn't a massive deal. You get everything you really need, but yeah. I will say though, the faces look amazing. Like, I know I said in the Trunks review, the real one, that if they'd done the hair that matte blonde with the sort of yellow highlights, or lowlights I should say, that it would look amazing. That would be my favourite. But this comes in a close second. I have always really enjoyed the sort of metallic hair, especially when they bother to shade it. So yeah, it's just a shame these are reserved for like specific releases and not the norm. I mean, even his eyebrows are metallic. You can't get any better than that. In terms of the other faces, he comes with the smirking looking down face, which is very specific. You won't be finding many uses for this, unfortunately, but it looks nice enough. Not sure why the pupils are so small on that face. And you've got the yelling face, which I'm not sure if it's just me or not, but I think the darker colour they've used for the mouth is making it look huge compared to the other ones that we're about to look at. Because spoilers, we're going to be doing some comparisons. You've got the crossed arms, which are the same ones we've been getting since the 1.0s, I think, which is fair enough. In terms of hands, he comes with the standard fists. Comes with a pair of Final Flash grippy hands. pair of Vegeta martial arts posy hands, pair of Ki Blast hands, and a thumbs up I am Super Vegeta hand, even though this isn't meant to be Super Vegeta. But yeah, that's your whack. No effect pieces, no nothing. So demoniacal fit has it beat there. Does it have it beat in the looks department though? I would say kind of. I mean, in my opinion, this is probably the closest colour scheme we've ever gotten to like the anime itself. That sort of gold, not quite yellow, not quite brown colour to the boot tips and the chest piece and the shoulder parts. And yeah, the blue is a nice deep royal blue, which I did say was one of the issues with demoniacal fit. The blue was kind of off, but yeah, all in all, I really like it. There's no shading per se. There's nothing whatsoever, apart from the hair. But yeah, you can clearly tell though, like I've said it a few times already, this isn't Android Saga Vegeta. This is Cell Saga Vegeta. This is post Time Chamber. With these buffed up shoulders, and the extra bulk basically everywhere to make him look chunky. Because obviously the Super Vegeta transformation, or the grade, what is it, grade 2, I think they call it, basically adds to your muscle mass. So yeah, and funny thing is, that's why the hair was so sprayed out when they first released this mould, and they've been abusing this mould ever since, even though it doesn't fit anything else. But yeah, other than that, the only thing I don't 100% like is the white. It's more of an off-white rather than like a clean bright white, which it looks fine, I suppose, but not perfect, if that makes any sense. But yeah, in terms of articulation, standard 2.0 articulation, you can look up, you can kind of look down, bit of pivot, and the neck moves ever so slightly to give him a bit of extra. I've always appreciated the Vegeta mould, that even though it's a ball hinge, it still gets quite a lot of range in that neck. Arms can go up that far, they can swivel. Butterfly joint is there, it exists. It doesn't really do much. Bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow, ball hinge at the wrist, pull up at the chest, so you can go down that far, not back any, plus it ruins the sculpt. You can actually go a bit further back if you push it down, which I suppose makes sense. We've got waist articulation, it can go forward and back as well on the waist, and the legs can just about make that before they get resistance. There we go. That's fully extended with this force past the part it resists. Thigh rotation, double joint at the knee, and the horrible 2.0 Vegeta articulation at the feet, which gets barely any movement, pretty much all directions, really. It doesn't. They need to come up with a better solution for Vegeta. And toe articulation. So yeah, that is as far as this Vegeta will go, and that's pushing it past the point where it would normally pop out the ball joint. So yeah, that picture on the back of the box is just a tad wee bit misleading. So yeah, let's have a look at comparisons, shall we? So we'll take a look at the bodies themselves, because I can't do proper comparisons with these. I have modified the Vegetas. This is the original 2.0 body with the trunk shoulders instead to give it a more natural sort of look. This is more for Super Saiyan colours, or Super Saiyan hair rather. So yeah, pretty decent. As I said, the original was quite purpley with brown on the chest, shoulders and the boot tips. This one's a much nicer colour, just all round. Never understood why they went purple with the original 2.0 Vegeta and Trunks. But yeah, much better colours here in any case. And the demoniacal fit, which again I have customised. These were 1.0 shoulders from one of the bootleg premium colour editions, if I remember correctly. Which, yeah, I think gives it a much thinner, cleaner look overall. Combined with the fact that demoniacal fit's legs, for whatever reason, are thinner. They're like a custom mould from them, which I've never really understood. It's a bit weird, but it gets the point across. I've been using this as a proper Android Saga Vegeta because it has white tips. As I said, the blue is slightly off with the demoniacal fit, but the armour and yeah, just everything is just bright white, as if the armour is brand new, shiny, as it should be, because it was the first time he wore it in the Android Saga. And yeah, the chest and shoulders are bright yellow. I will say, going off tangent a little bit, if you want this body with the normal boots, the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, his feet are the exact colour these are, and you can just pop them off and pop these on. Makes it look really good. In fact, I was using it as a Super Saiyan God Vegeta because the body is just so thin. It works out really well for that. So yeah, just a quick tangent there. In terms of the faces, the stern faces are as such. So the new awakened blood. This is the demoniacal fit face. And this is the original face. So yeah, as you can see, the demoniacal fit one comes close. Like it's a really good likeness. But Tamashi takes the cake there, I think. Especially with that one. This is where it gets a bit not as good. These are the three smirking faces. As you can see, the original, the eyes are too far apart. The Tamashi one is probably the best looking out of the three again. The only problem is he's obviously looking down into the side, so you can't use it as easily as you can the other two. And the demoniacal fit one looks better than the original, but the eyes are, the pupils themselves this time are just a little bit too far apart, I think. Yeah, it kind of looks off. In terms of yelling faces, we have, there we go. So the original actually looked pretty decent for the time. The new Figuarts looks really good, although I'm not sure what's happening with this eye. It's sort of disappearing up into his head. And that one is just straight up yelling with the demoniacal fit. So yeah, as I said, the mouth on the yelling faces are all different. They're all painted different. So this one looks wider, almost more cartoony, because it's been painted darker than the rest. But yeah, I'd say they all get a passing grade with that one. And yeah, the demoniacal fit in the original came with one more face, which is another yelling one, which Figuarts have decided to not give us at all. So demoniacal fits is yelling and looking down. That's their take on the Big Bang attack. And this one, the original, is yelling looking off to the side, which I'm not quite sure why. I mean, he never done the Big Bang attack that way. So yeah, I'm not really sure why that was ever included. So I can see why it was removed from the original. But yeah, one final bonus comparison. This is the demoniacal fit, or the possessed horse set that came with the Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta heads. And yeah, honestly, this one still holds up. If you're just going with a regular Super Saiyan, where it's not as splayed out hair, this one's still decent. I just wish the eyebrows were a bit darker. That's the only problem I have with it. But yeah, apart from that, guys, for the price, I would definitely say go for it. It doesn't have as many accessories as like either the original, and definitely not the demoniacal fit, because that comes with the final flash and the aura effect. But yeah, if you're looking for a good Vegeta to go with the upcoming reissue of Trunks, then yeah, I would definitely say go for this guy. The colours alone make it a really good release. So yeah, folks, that will do it for this review. I'll see y'all later.